So, excuse all the background noise. I got a cranky washer, okay, if y'all can hear it. But I've noticed something about myself as of today. You know, I've always seen like these posts or comments or saying that some people have a light about them that attracts people to naturally open up and communicate to them. And if I really look back upon through the years, before I started healing, I was that one that everybody would come to talk about their lives or the things that they were going through. Um, and somehow or another, I always had the best advice for them, and I wasn't even healed in my own right mind. There was a point where I had to tell myself, hey, I got to really work on me before I can help anybody else, even if it was just being that, hey, can I talk? Um, there's people that's taken advantage of that where they would overdo it by calling me all the time, and then I got so depleted, I no longer allowed people to do that anymore. I can't help but notice now that as soft and sensitive as my heart is, and as empathetic and sympathetic as I am towards people's situations, I don't have a whole lot to say anymore. um which is really weird because it's like before I was really in tune with myself, I had so much to say. And I think, yeah, I overplayed myself because it's like people were coming to me for the same shit over and over and over, but weren't really quite making changes or the necessary steps to like better their situation. So that's why I kind of like backed off from like certain people. Like, I'm no longer got no more to say to you. You're not even listening. You just want somebody to hear you, and that's cool. You learn that in the customer service game. Like, some people just want you to hear them, and I can't tell you how many times like I just wanted to be heard. Like, I wanted people to hear what I had to say, and so therefore I started opening up about like my life experiences and stuff. And I think I sometimes I like to incorporate like what I've been through and relate in relation to people's stories or situations, but more or less it's like I've had to teach myself, and it's hard. And it when I tell you that the hardest thing for me to do and have been while I've been healing is teaching myself to not get attached to other people's emotions, because that is the type of stuff that really brings me down. It drains me. It causes me to go in like an isolation mode all over again because I feel so helpless, and I just like want to help people, and I want to take away their pain, and I want to make them feel better. And I know sometimes that, that is unrealistic. So when it comes down to people coming to me now and telling me what's going on in their lives, or, or something traumatic happening, I have to really sit with my response for a second because one, again, people just want to be heard. Some people just want to vent. And two, not everybody's seeking advice. That is something that, you have to keep in mind when people come to you and tell you about their problems. They're not always asking for your opinion. They're not. And because sometimes your opinion can fuck it all up and make things worse. But I think one thing that I know now about myself is that it's not that I don't care about what people are going through or that I don't care about them. It's me knowing that logically people make their own choices and decisions. Who am I to argue or soften the idea about why somebody did or are doing the things that they are doing? You know, it took my own lessons in order for me to from repeating, and that's how I relate to other people. That's how I try to use my situations to an advantage to kind of guide others from making those choices. But in reality, people are just going to do whatever they want to anyways. We're not always going to like the outcome. We're not always going to like the choice that people make. We're not going to like the decisions that may be opposed to how we believe things should go. And I just saw this video that... So the woman that I saw post this, I just started following her. Her name is Chloe. What she talks about in this video was completely mind-blowing to her. And as I'm watching it, I'm like, wow. And then, of course, I wrap my own little theory around what I just learned, and I'm even blowing my mind even more. So hear me out. Bear with me, because I know I'm not going to recite what she said word for word, but because I've already took what I learned from that compared to what I already knew, this is how I took it. So sometimes we attach ourselves to the potential of what somebody could be or do because we think about the actions we would take if we were them, right? People make choices and decisions all the time that we disagree with, but because we have a bond with them, we automatically think that we know what's best for them. So of course, if they're going through a situation, we start trying to help them and guide them and lead them and say, well, I think it'd be best if you do this, but that's not how their mind is going to work. They may take your opinion, but honestly, at the end of the day, our decisions and our choices are what's focal point right there. Like, we have to do what we desire to do, because if we continue to follow somebody else in their own experiences, we'll never know we'll never learn from it. Okay, if you get my gist. But it's so crazy to me to sit here and think that at the end of the day, we're supposed to love ourselves, right? We're supposed to be who we want in another person. So it threw me off when I'm sitting here thinking about how we attach to people's potential and who they could be because we fall in love with a facade. It's not really who they are. It's because we envision who we want them to be. And honestly, with that whole backtracking of, you attract what you are type of thing, you attract what you lack, hold up. In all reality, wouldn't it be... I know I just didn't make any sense right there, but in all reality, wouldn't it be the things that you need to do, the actions that you need to take, is what you're telling somebody else that they should do? I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that, but I just happened to realize that today I felt a little less humane. And I had to really check myself and take away the doubt, because I'm like, hold up, no, I definitely care about people. I've had to teach myself how to detach from the outcome and detach from people's choices, because I got myself hurt so many times based off of other people's choices and decisions. So because I'm a logical thinker, I am a heavy believer that people know what they're doing and know what the consequences are whenever they get themselves into situations.